I woke up this morning and realized that there was only 13 days left until Christmas, I think. And fortunately, our last bundle, Christmas bundle for 2018, features a series of boxes for gift giving that are going to be pretty quick to put together, yet still impressive as far as the bar that you set when you give your handmade paper gifts to your loved ones. So we're going to start off with the Santa gift/treat box. Perfect for a little gift, a little bag of treats, whatever it may be. Very simple little project here. So I kind of just started laying some things out just to kind of get my head around what I'm doing. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to put the structure of the box together first, and then we're going to do some paper piecing, and it's going to go together nice and quick. So let me move this out of the way. So you can see we've got these two pieces here, and I've already folded everything at the score marks. And you'll notice that on one of these, well, actually, two little things to keep in mind here. See these little scallops here? On two sides, they're kind of flat. On two sides, they're a little arched or arced. This is the front, has a few little score marks cut into it to help you with the piecing for Santa's face. Okay, so to get started here, all we're going to do is apply our glue onto this tab here. Okay, now we want to keep this tab nice and crisp and clean as far as the connection goes to the next piece. So I'm going to take that glue, just spread it out, and I'm going to lay this right next to it and get it nice and lined up. I'm looking at the little folds on the bottom tabs there just to make sure that I've got it nice and aligned. Then I can take it and fold it onto itself and just make any little minor nudges or adjustments. The little tabs here should sit perfectly on top of the tabs on this piece here. So you shouldn't be able to see one poking out from either side. And that indicates to me that we've got it nice and lined up. So just make sure that that is nice and set. Okay. And then we can go ahead and take this tab and connect it to this side. Now we're not gonna assemble the box completely just yet, because we've got to put Santa's face on there and all the little panels. And then we can go ahead and close it up. It's just a lot easier to work with this when it's flat. So we're gonna do that before we make it dimensional. Okay, so I've got my glue right there on that tab, and I'm just gonna press that down. And then I'm gonna fold it this way just to make sure that it's nice and aligned and pressed down. So we're, in essence, just connecting all the sides of the box. Two sides were already connected, and then the last two sides there, we just did with some glue. Okay, so now that it's pretty much all together, we're not gonna make it dimensional. We're gonna work on Santa's face. Okay, so first thing we can do is take this piece, and you'll notice that there are some little scallops that are cut out. You want those kind of pointing down. I don't want it like that, it wouldn't work, but actually the only way it will work is this way, because you can see that there's an arch there. Okay, so we're gonna get that glued down right to the top there to match the little arched piece on the main structure. And of course you don't want to put any glue on those little cutouts, because it's not really going to do anything for you aside from holding them down, which we don't want. We want them to flare out to give that little section a little added dimension. So just match that up with the little scallops there. Okay, now get it nice and centered so that those line up perfectly. Okay, make sure that the height is set properly and that you have it centered. Okay, if you accidentally push these down, you can always kind of pull them up with your finger. I don't think you need to train them with a dowel or anything like that. That's fine. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to get that glued here, and you'll notice that it kind of fits like a little puzzle here. Okay, so let's get some glue on the back of this. Now, I did ink this with either, I think it was a light blue or a turquoise. because this kind of represents Santa's his beard and his hair. And so that's why it's in white. And we add a little bit of ink to make it a little more interesting. Okay, so just be careful when you lay this down. What I would do is kind of hold it like this and kind of push it up into that little puzzle piece area where it just kind of just naturally fits into place, and then press that down. Okay, just go around the corners there. Perfect. Okay, so we can kind of work our way from the bottom to the top. We do have some little cheeks for him. It's kind of a weird looking piece, but you'll understand how it works here in just a second. So grab one of them, doesn't matter which one. There's two pieces like this. And what you're gonna do is make sure you got the right one. Just gonna pop that right in there. Again, it's like a little puzzle piece. Whoops. There we go. And that fits nicely. Let me grab my other one and get that glued into place. It's pretty simple. I'm kind of taking my time here just so I can show you, but you'd probably be able to whip through this pretty quickly. Okay, let's put his little eyebrows in. You should have two of those. We did that in a glitter. Okay, and get those in place. We'll put his eyeballs down, and I think we're going to draw in his little pupil with either a pearl or a liquid pearl, since it's so tiny. Don't want to work with things that are too tiny. Okay, there's a little marker here for his eyebrows. Just make sure that you get them lined up and that they look symmetrical. They're all both kind of pointing the same direction. Okay, and let's find his little eyeballs. We're going to start with the white sections. Okay, so glue down the white oval on one side and then on the other. Okay, and we do have markers there for you as well for the eyeballs. So we've got the white section there, both sides. Okay, and next section here. Just one little drop of glue should do. And pop that in place. Okay. And then we've got the little black part that's going to go on top of that. Yeah, that looks right. There we go. Okay, and then finally, our little black piece here. Like that. And just get that right up into that very corner there. And as I mentioned, I'll grab a liquid pearl and put the little pupil in there, or the white part of the eye. I forget what that's called. Okay, so next we can put his little mouth together. So I've got this little, somewhat of a triangular piece. It's a bit rounded at the bottom. We'll get that in place. Okay, and there's some guides here to help you with the positioning. Just make sure you get it within the little guides there. And press that down. Pardon my head here. Okay, and then there's a little black piece that's going to go right up at the top of that that white piece there, or the red piece, I should say. So just a little dot of glue there. And just get that positioned right on there. Now this is a red foil, and I'm gluing cardstock to it, so you want to be patient if you're using what we're using as far as foil goes. Okay, so last but not least, we've got his little mustache with his nose as far as Santa's face goes. Let's put this together, but we're not gonna glue it on. I'm actually gonna pop dot this on, but only after we get the rest of the panels on. And since we're pop dotting it, I don't want to be pushing down on it when I'm adding the panels to the other sides here. So this glitter piece with the cutout is going to go right on top of this piece. Just get that lined up neatly. And I've got little stray pieces of felt on here from when I was inking this. I inked this with a nice purple or lavender, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so there's that. Our nose is going to go right here, right on top of that little section. Okay. And just get that nice and centered there. You may need to, if you're using glitter like we are, this is going to take a few moments to dry anyway, so I'm going to give it an initial press, and I may just stick it under my mat for a few minutes to make sure that it really sets. So let's do that. Okay, now in the meantime, just real quick here, there's a little embellishment here. It's these little holly leaves, and there's a little score mark going down the center, which what we're going to do is just kind of take this and just fold it right at the score mark and pinch the tip just to kind of give it a little dimension like that. Okay, and then we can take our little berries and glue them right onto a little section there that looks like it could hold some berries right there at the bottom. Okay. And we're also going to pop dot this, but I want to let this set as well since we're gluing foil onto glitter. Two surfaces that don't like to play nice sometimes. Okay, so let's take a look at the rest of the box, and you'll notice that we have 3 panels. Yeah, we do. 3 panels. These are all the same, by the way. If you match them up, you'll see that they're all the same as far as size and design, so it doesn't matter. And then we have 3 of these, 2 that are flat, 1 that has an arch. And of course, the arch is going to go on the back, but we're going to put this one down first. So just get your glue on here, and we'll put that down, followed by the little panel. And just make sure you get that glue out to the edge, and maybe just a few in some of the little scalloped areas. I'm not overly concerned about that. Make sure the little scallops are pointing down, and get that matched up. And you may have to flip it like this in order to get it to match up nicely, because otherwise it might try to hit the other one. Okay, so there we go, there's that. And then we're going to take these little panels here and just glue them down onto the box, trying to maintain a nice even border all the way around. So it's very simple. And then ultimately, it is an open top sort of box or container, so there's no lid, but the thought behind this one would be to use some tissue paper or like a clear cellophane bag to put your little gift in, and just kind of wrap it up with a bow, which is why you see this ribbon here. So you definitely want to take a look at the final photo of the project. It's just going to be a single loop bow, so nothing fancy. Okay, so on the back here, we've got this piece. I want to make sure that these little ruffles or these little scallops are pointing down. Get that glued into place, followed by the panel. And then we're going to assemble the box, which is very simple. It's just got to put the bottom on it since it's already pretty much assembled. Okay, so again, just do your best to match this up using the little scallops at the top there as your guide, and then press that down. Make sure you got a good connection there. That these 2 surfaces are touching nicely. And that looks pretty darn good. Grab another panel, pop that down. So at this point, you could probably guess what we're going to do next. So if you want to skip to the part where I assemble the box, just kind of scrub through the video until you see me doing something other than this. Okay, get that placed nicely there. Nice even border all the way around. Okay, make sure those sides, the perimeter, has good contact with your paper. There we go. And last one here, I'm gonna flip this over like this. And with this one here, we may actually need to do this while it's opened up. Okay, so let's get our glue on here. So you can see, you know, I mean, I know you're not gonna make a custom box for every single person in your family, but if you have a little gift that deserves a cute little box like this, maybe it's some jewelry, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's an engagement ring, or maybe it's some homemade chocolate that everyone salivates over, and you've got a specific person in mind that you want to give this to, this would be the kind of box to do it with. Okay, so that's on. I've got that nice and matched up, and I'm going to kind of leave this dimensional now and put my final panel in place before we go ahead and assemble the bottom. And the bottom's already connected, so we only have to connect 3 tabs here, so that'll go quick. Okay. Get that nice and aligned, nice even border, and you can see why it's so much easier to work with things when they're flat. And actually you can do that. I'm just gonna do it this way, so I can leave this thing dimensional but still leverage the handiness that is working on a flat surface. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's take a look at our front here. That looks nice. Okay, so I can flip this over like so. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put glue on these tabs here. Okay, so start off by applying your glue on the inner portion of the tab. And then I'm going to do a nice thin little line right up to the very edge, as close as you can get without going over. That kind of sounds like The Price is Right, if you know what I'm talking about. Let's get as close as we can without going over. And then I'm just going to spread that out to the very edge there. Get that. When I close that up, it's going to look nice and crisp. There we go. And flare them out just a tad and push down. And focus your attention on the side that is opposite from where the little hinge is. And push down there, and then work your fingers along here. Now you don't want to push down too hard because the top of it is uneven because of those scallops. And do your best to get that, apply pressure on there so that it holds nicely. If for some reason we miss a little area, it's not a big deal. You can always go in and paint a little bit of glue under there to get it to stick, but it looks like everything worked out nicely for me here. Okay, so there is our box. You can push down from the inside if you need to a little bit, and then throw a little bit of glue around the perimeter of the inside there, maybe just a little in the center. Grab this extra piece here and pop it in. And it's a nice little liner to cover up the little tabs, make it look nice and seamless. Okay. All right, so there is our box. Now, gotta grab our little mustache. There you are. And let's grab some foam squares. And we'll just throw a couple foam squares on here so that we can get his little mustache on and give this box a little extra dimension. And these foam squares, I can tell they don't want to play nice. You just got to go back to your room, mister, if you don't want to play nice. Oh. Let's try these. And these don't want to play nice either. There we go. And just throw a couple towards the center here so that you don't see the foam squares from the outside. I think 3 of these will do. Now it's time to get dangerous with my X-Acto to peel off the backing. I'm sure that you know that. Just pop that off. And then you just want to match this up with the existing little section here where you can see the kind of outline of his mustache, and pop that right on there. Okay, there we go. So there is our box, nice and complete. And I'm going to throw a nice little pop dot or foam square on the back of this guy. Might need to make that, I can use a full one, it's fine. I don't think anyone's going to see that. And we'll peel that off. And then that's basically it. So however you fill this up is up to you. As I mentioned, we're going to use just some tissue paper, put our little goodies in there, and then just wrap a little bow around it and call it a day. So just pop this up like so. There we go. Cute little Santa box, ready to go. So that's it. Real simple. I'm not sure exactly how long that took. Probably less than 20 minutes. If you factor in the cutting, 30 minutes. But where else are you going to get a box like this that's unique and handmade without having to drive to the store? And you know the routine. So hope you enjoyed the process. If you did, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube and let us know that we're doing a great job. And if you do make this or any of the products from our new bundle, please take a moment to visit us on Facebook, do a search for Dreaming Tree Group, and share your work with the 8,000 plus other dreamers that do so daily. So thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to crafting with you again.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.